Hi everybody, happy Tuesday. Okay. Linar. Whew. Um all right. So, um uh okay, Harrison and Claire are not going to Paris because Summer got the uh, papers that said they can't go. Right? Okay. So, today is Fallout Day. Um all right. So, uh, Claire is in the opening scene is Claire is in Victoria Newman's office, and um, she's just there. And first of all, I love her outfit. Okay, she's in a blue top, but it's like cut. Um, it's cut where there's a piece under her neck, and then there's the top goes from there. So there's a slit, but in the right place for a top. Okay. And then she's wearing a skirt. And then, so she's in the office, and, Victoria comes in and she says, "Oh, was your flight delayed? Aren't you supposed to be in a plane?" And she's like, "Oh, no, we're not going anymore because Summer drew up papers. And I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Oh, yeah, I'm so sorry for you. I know you're really excited about it." So then she gets Claire talking about how she doesn't like the fact that she's not going to Paris either. And it's not just for Harrison's sake that she was really looking forward to it. And then also, we see that Claire, like I said before, um, Claire didn't have much of a childhood because her aunt raised her, but to distrust people and only trust her. And so she had to be on guard for most of her childhood as a means of survival. Okay. So like when she was 8 or something, I'm just saying, I'm picked an age. When she was 8 and supposed to be playing outside, she wasn't outside and she was more worried about who's gonna try to get me or whatever. So she had to be an adult before she was supposed to be an adult. And so now she wants to do all the kid like things or childlike things. Which apparently there's I don't know from experience, but there's a carousel with painted horses somewhere near Paris or in Paris. And she really wanted to go on the ride with Harrison. But then Victoria gets her to say, "Well, I really wanted to go on the ride for myself." So, yeah. And then, so there's a good moment, there's a good section today of Victoria and Claire bonding as mother and daughter more. And I know that a lot of people say that there's going to be a mother child bond anyway, but when you haven't had a mother your childhood, you have to reintroduce yourself to each other, and then you get to form the bond if it's possible. Sometimes it's not, but okay. So then, because Claire and Kyle, they seem to go together, so of course we see the backlash on the Kyle side. Okay, well, we got some fireworks today because Jack Abbott. I laugh because I've seen the characters before and I know that they can get heated, but I never thought it'd happen like this, but I'm glad to see it. Okay, so Kyle thinks he's, well, I'd call his character a know it all, spoiled brat, all rolled into one, okay? And what I mean by that is that he thinks he can get one over on somebody. And he thinks that he knows the best way to do business or whatever we're talking about. And he's not really opened it for input. So that's why I think a relationship between Claire and Kyle are going to happen because Kyle is actually open to her suggestions when it comes to Harrison, but also a little bit of his life. So, um, this is going back to real life, REAL for a second. But when a guy's talking to a woman, and the guy starts taking the woman's advice for little things, that means that he's starting to pay attention to your opinion and you have more influence than you think. Just a little tidbit there. Okay. So we get to see the fallout, kind of, although it's going to be more massive than this. But um, Kyle and Audra are waiting for their car to pick them up because that's what happens when you have money. You have a car. Um, so they just so happen to be almost leaving while Jack and Diane are going to the same restaurant for lunch. And so that's how they meet. And then, of course, Diane quips, "Oh, so are you going somewhere?" She knows full well that the trip was planned and that Harrison was supposed to go, and he's disappointed because he can't go now. She knows, but she's gotta have a little dig in there. But and what's funny is Jack was supposed to be the peacemaker in all this and just not say anything to give Kyle any more ammunition for his mission, right? But that all went out the window because, like I said, Jack reached the point of boiling point, and also he couldn't take any more of his son acting like a spoiled, entitled brat. His words, not mine. Although I don't disagree. Okay, so let's see. Also, Claire was talking to her father, Cole, and Cole was telling her, well, you shouldn't really be in a situation that makes you uncomfortable like that. So, and you're smart. You could do other things. So, it's kind of trying to pull her away from the situation, which is good. It's a good fatherly thing. However, when someone reaches a certain age, they can make up their own mind. So, I don't know how that's going to go. Plus, if Claire and Kyle aren't working together, or she's not working for him, then there can be no romantic connection. So please don't do that. Because I really want a good romance. I want a romance that starts off good, and even though there's going to be fireworks and tension and everything, I just want it because I can see it. And I like being right. What can I say? Um, okay. So, let's see. What else is going on? And that was pretty much it because, I mean, what I've noticed is because the Young and the Restless cast is so large, they have to focus on one or two stories a day, and they can't really focus on too much because also, I think they do get this part right where your viewers can only focus on one or two things at a time, and it depends on how deep you want the story to get. So if you want to go more in depth, then you only do two. If you only want to touch on things, you could do three. But there was another storyline, but it's kind of old. It's already getting old because it's just more and more rehash. Okay, so Billy, uh, Billy is really suspicious of Adam and Chelsea, which, okay, he's got a right to be. We all know that as an audience. If you've been keeping track, you know what happened. So there's good reason for suspicion. However, the way that Adam and Chelsea are both denying it, although Adam is trying to be the stand-up guy, so he's trying to make it so that everyone's upset with him and kind of forgives Chelsea, but then Chelsea isn't doing herself any favors because she jumped in there and said, I don't know what we're talking about. I don't know why we keep talking about this anymore. Like, too defensive. So if I'm a chick and like if Chelsea was a guy and I was a chick, I'd be like, why are you getting so defensive about that? Like that's trigger number one, or that's sign number one that something's going on. Because if you ask an innocuous question and the guy goes, "Why do you want to know that?" or "What's that all about?" Defensive, that's no good. So she better keep herself in check. Although I gotta give it up for Melissa Clarigan because she's playing the guilty girlfriend to a T. But jeez. All right. I think I covered it, and I'm gonna do what I did the other day, which is talk about the best people today, best actor, actress, and I'm gonna do the same for both. I just forgot, so sorry about that. All right. Bye, guys.